What's up guys, welcome back to DIY Man. As you can see, we got a truckload of lumber and that means we've got another great project for you. I'm going to show you how to build this little 4-foot haul tree. It's perfect for just about any kind of entryway. You've got some great storage down below for your shoes, and then there's a little bit of hanging space in case your visitors need to hang up their coats. Check the description below for the materials you'll need for this build. You'll also find a list of recommended tools and hardware. Let's start today's project by cutting up some 1/2-inch plywood into 3-inch strips. Let's go ahead and cut 2 of these to 44 inches and we'll cut 4 of them to 8.5 inches. Here's all those pieces I just cut out. Next I'll assemble this base with wood glue and an 18-gauge brad nailer. The 2 middle boards will just evenly space in the center there. Now let's cut a piece of 1/2-inch plywood that's 9.5 inches wide by 44 inches long. Let's slap this piece on top. Hey guys, in just a second we're going to start cutting up some 1x2s. Before we do that though, if you've been struggling to get your spouse to get you to let you buy a new tool, hey, I got a quick tip for you. Tell her you're losing money on every project by not having a new table saw. Every time I need 1x2s for a project, I end up cutting up 2x4s in order to make those. I save $10 to $15 on every project I do this on, and it doesn't take long for that table saw to pay itself off. Alright, let's start cutting out some 1x2s. We need 6 that are 16.5 inches, 2 at 13, 3 at 42.5, and 4 at 6.5 inches. Alright, we're also going to need to cut a 1x4 to 42.5 inches. Okay, so let me show you the 1x2s I've cut out here. These 4 are 6.5 inches. I've got 6 at 16.5 inches, 2 at 13 inches, 3 of these 1x2s at 42.5 inches, and here's that 1x4 at 42.5 inches. So these 6.5-inch boards, these 42.5-inch boards, and that 1x4, we're going to put 2 pocket holes on each side of those. For the 16.5-inch ones and these 13-inch boards, we're going to leave those alone for now. Let's go ahead and put these pocket holes in these boards I just talked about. Don't forget that 1x4. Let me show you how the basic frame of this haul tree is going to go together. Here's the face of the haul tree. For this one, you've got the 2 16.5-inch boards on the side there. You've got this 1x4 on the bottom, and then these 2 1x2s middle and top. So that middle one right there, that's 6.5 inches from the top to the top of that board. Now for this one, you got one piece that's 42.5 on the top there, and these 2 side ones, those are going to be our 13-inch 1x2s. Then for the last 2 sides here, we've got the 2 16.5-inch boards on the side. Then those 6.5-inch pieces are on the top and bottom. I'll put these together using wood glue and pocket screws. These pocket screws are 1.25 inches long. Let's attach these sides using wood glue and an 18 gauge brad nailer. These will attach straight to the base here. You also want to attach the sides to the front and back. For this C-shaped piece with the 13-inch sides, make sure that top is flush with the top two sides. This is going to allow our hull tree to sit flush up against the wall around the trim. Alright, let's go ahead and cut up some 1/2-inch plywood. We need one that's 43 by 13, two that are 9.5 by 13, and one that's 43 by 9 inches. We'll start by installing those 9.5 by 13-inch boards on the side. That 43 by 13-inch board should fit flush on the back side there. Next we'll attach that 43 by 9-inch board flush with the top of that middle 1x2 there. This is just another shelf so we can store a few more shoes. Okay, let's cut a 2x12 to 48 inches. Let's attach this guy to the top. Each side should hang over about 1.25 inches. Be sure the back of your 2x12 is flush with the back of the hull tree. Next, for the top of my bench, I used a 1/2-inch roundover in my router to give the top a nice curved look. Then get a little bit of help to cut your 1/4-inch utility panel into 6-inch strips. Let's take one of these and cut 4 boards to 6.5 inches long. We're also going to need 2 that are 6.5 inches long and 1.5 inches wide. I'll attach these to the sides of my hull tree using wood glue and some 5/8 inch finishing nails. I left about an 1/8 inch gap between each one of these boards. I'm going for a shiplap look again today. Even with these really short nails, I still send them in at an angle so they don't poke through the other side. Now that the bench is basically complete, let's fill in any nail holes and sand it down real good before we finish it. Let's cut out a couple 1x3s real quick. We need 2 that are 48 inches and 1 that's 47 inches. Here are the 2 48-inch boards. They've got a flat cut on one side and a 45-degree angle cut on the other. This 47-inch board has 2 45-degree angles on each side. My bench height is 18 inches, so I'm going to mount these 18 inches up from the floor. For this upper 47-inch board, be sure and attach that directly to the studs. It's going to hold the coat hangers. Next, I'll cut out 8 pieces of this fake shiplap. These need to be 42 inches long. Now I'll just attach these between those 1x3s. I just left an 1/8 inch gap between each one of them. Now I did have to rip my bottom board down to 2 3/4 inches wide. I just eyeballed my 1/8 inch gaps, so yours might be just a little bit different. Just keep that in mind. Once you finish installing the bench and wall the way you want them, go ahead and attach the bench to the wall using some long screws straight into the studs. Next, let's attach those coat hangers directly to that top board. I just evenly space all 5 of them on there. I'll be sure and throw a link in the description for these exact coat hangers. That way you know for sure they're going to work on yours. Once you get all those installed, your hall tree's complete. This is one of the most simple hall trees you can build, and it saves a ton of material because it builds directly onto your wall. I really appreciate you joining me today for this really cool project. If you enjoyed this build today, please subscribe and click that like button down below. That way I know you're enjoying it and you want to see more great DIY videos.